Captain Tristan Leigh. Y'all go ahead with questions whenever you're ready.
Tristan, how would you kind of grade that effort for the entire offensive line against what's a really good Georgia defense?
Yeah, thank you for your question. I think, after watching the tape, I think we played hard. I think we put a lot into our preparation. I think we came out with the right mindset. Just as a unit, we just got to tune up details and be more consistent. But I'm confident in our unit. I'm excited to get ready for App State.
And you can play as much as you want to against Peter Woods and DeMonte and all those guys, but how much does it help now actually having that game film where you're playing somebody else, going up against somebody else to improve and get better?
Mm-hmm. I mean, like you said, yes, just any experience is great. But, when you play against a great team like that, a great defensive line like that, you can only get good things out of it from learning from the tape and applying what you learned to your next opportunity. So I'm grateful for that.
You said you're confident in the unit, but where do you think the confidence of the offense is after a game like that? I mean, are you able to flush it pretty quickly or have perspective about it, or do you really need to have success on the field this weekend?
I think we're extremely confident. I mean, you watch the tape, obviously they're great defense, great team. They had a great game plan, great scheme, but I saw a lot of opportunity out there. I saw guys playing hard. I saw guys believing in each other. So I'm just as confident in this offense as I was before the game.
Tristan, last week when Cade was in here, he was asked about his chemistry heading into another season, how he was feeling, and oddly enough, or maybe not, he didn't talk about his chemistry with his receivers. He talked about his chemistry with his own line. How has that chemistry benefited you and benefited you this past Saturday?
It's been great. I mean, Cade is one of my best friends, and he was so intentional in the offseason with the relationships with the guys up front, and I think it's just a testament to his leadership because he's just genuine. Like, he genuinely cares, and he was ready to do anything for us to get tighter because we all know, when you're out there. When you're brothers with somebody, when you understand their story, where they come from, you're going to go that much harder for them because you don't want to let them down. And, I think he feels that way about all of us, and we feel that way about him. So you can definitely feel that chemistry. It's bigger than football. He's our brother. So.
Tristan, Cade talked a lot about how there's leadership all around the team and in different places. Who are some of those leaders that you're seeing, and what have they done this week?
We have a lot. We have a lot of guys that lead in different ways too. But obviously Cade's a great leader. He's always on it. Like, he never turns it off. He's always a great leader. Marcus Tate, Barrett Carter, Jay Brennenstuhl, Phil Maffa, Walker Parks, Tyler Venables. I mean, Peter Woods, T.J. Parker. I could tell you, I could go all day, honestly. I mean, and there's so many guys that care, and we're all on the same page with what we want. So, I don't want to just keep naming off guys, but like, there's so many guys that care, and they care in different ways. Well, not caring, they show they care in different ways, like by leading in different ways. Not everybody's the rah-rah guy. Some guys, they get out there and lead by how they practice, and setting an example with their effort. So we got a bunch of leaders.
What would you say your leadership style is? Because a lot of people have mentioned you as one of the guys who's emerged.
Yes, sir. I don't know. I feel like my style is I want to be able to lead in every single way, whatever my team needs me to do. If somebody's already kind of got the message across of what needs to be done at practice or for the game that week, I'll lead by going at absolutely as hard as I can in practice and trying to show young guys like what the tempo is, or if I feel like I should say something, I'm going to make it as genuine as possible, make sure it's coming from my heart. But I think when it comes to leading, there's no blueprint to it. Like, leading guys, you got to meet them uniquely where they're at. Some guys respond to different things. Some guys you can't just yell at them. Some guys you can't, the motivating, some people need to be yelled at. Some guys they just need to tap like, hey, it's all good. They just need to be calmed down. Some guys need to be amped up. I think it just goes into effort, getting to know your teammates, knowing them outside of the building. But I mean, I always say, like, if you're in a leadership position on the team, it's because the team has allowed you to do that. So anything that I'm able to do in the leadership is what they've been, they allow me to feel comfortable enough to go up there and accepted me for who I am. So it's all to my teammates. It's all for my teammates.
What does that mean to you, being a guy that it took a couple years to really get into a starting role?
Yes, sir.
To finally be in that kind of position, what does that mean?
It means a lot. Nothing ever good isn't worked for. You know what I'm saying? So I feel I'm grateful for the time I got to learn behind Jordan, the time I got to learn and just watch, how people operate, what the everyday process looks like, how you should practice, how you should be intentional in meetings, the right questions you should ask to get the information you need. But just grateful, honestly. I'm grateful because I got the perspective of being on both sides of that. I've been that scout team, power hour guy, and then, now I'm a starter. So I've seen both sides, and, I love it all. I love the process of all of it. I'm grateful for all of it. It's a blessing.
Considering that is one of, if not the best defensive line you'll face all year, what kind of confidence does this give you that we can play with anybody?
Yeah, like you said before, like just the experience of playing the game, and like I said, that's like you said, it's a great defense. The great personnel up front, great scheme. Just going out there and you're seeing that you're playing against that game speed, playing against that personnel. It does give you confidence because you're like, I can do this. So it gives you confidence, but at the same time, you gotta keep working at it. Our coach Luke always says, like, you either, you don't stay the same during the season. Like, you got to get better. The teams that do good in the end of the season are teams that got better. You don't stay the same. So I think as good as the experience is, it's just as important to apply it to practice and apply what you learn to get better.
This is your second game with Coach Luke, but the first where he really knows you guys. What's his sideline demeanor like?
He's very he has great energy. He's always reminding us on like key points, just things like little tidbits you should remember, but he's very composed. You can just feel his experience. He's been there. He's probably seen every single situation. He's been in every type of game. He's been in, fourth quarter, last game ending touchdowns. He's seen everything. So I think, honestly, his composure gives confidence, and he makes it obvious that he believes in us. And, when you can feel that, I mean, there's nothing you wouldn't do for that man. So nothing I wouldn't do for that man. So, you just feel his confidence and composure. But he's into the game. He loves it. He loves football.
I think Coach Sweeney mentioned a second and goal in the red zone in the third quarter where you and Colin Sallard pulled. It was a quarterback count with Cade.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, how that play supposed to go, I guess, with Cade slipping, and from your perspective when you looked at the film?
When I looked at it, they're in an Okie front, and then, 13 got kind of wide. How it's supposed to look is the guard would kick out 13, and then I would wrap under and go to 12. I think 12 showed up. My backer wasn't in there, so I think 12 showed up. But honestly, I take responsibility for that play because I feel like if I was tighter off the double team, it would have been easier for Cade to turn up quicker. So, I take that one. But, I watched it and learned from it, and I'm going to practice better habits so we can execute that play better next time.
I guess a lot of people saw the play where you're pulling and Marcus is pulling and then Colin comes the other way.
Yes,
what makes something like that happen?
You never. I mean, I can't. I can't speak for them. I just. It's football's hard. You're not gonna be perfect. Mistakes happen. Nobody goes out there and intentionally, runs the wrong play. So, I mean, I can't speak for how they feel about that or what their thought process was, but, it's just bad plays happen. But, I mean, in that game, in that setting, you want to stay away from those when you're playing, a team like that, as disciplined and as experienced as they are. But we'll get better from that. We'll get better from all the film. So I'm not worried about that.
Any questions for Tristan from Zoom? Anybody else in the room?
I think on the Roar on Tuesday, Monday, Coach Sweeney had Meaghan Turcotte, you guys, as a nutritionist on, and she says you're one of the kind of people that always reaches out to her, ask her for like, what should I eat, what should I not, I guess. How do you and her kind of form that relationship as your nutritionist, as you're trying to, for your health?
Yeah, I have a great relationship with Meaghan. She's so intentional with what she does. Like, she is so open to us. Like, anytime you need something from her, like, wherever it is, like, I've had times, like, we're on break, like, in the summertime, and, like, I'll just text her the menu where I'm at. I'm like, what's the best option? And, like, she's right there with it. Like, she cares about us, and honestly, I've been open with her about how intentional I want to be with this and how I want to keep developing holistically. And, she's kind of explained to me and showed me how the importance of nutrition and stuff like that. And I've tried to buy into that as best I can. But it's really just comes from her effort. She cares. She loves us, and we love her. And she gives us everything. So she makes it easy to be committed to that.
I think she said that if she told you to eat a piece of cardboard, you would do it. I guess we can actually.
You said what?
She said that you would eat a piece of cardboard if she told you to.
Yeah.
So would you actually eat a piece of cardboard?
Hey, if Meaghan said that's what you're supposed to do to get your body right, hey, who am I to say something? She knows what she's doing. I don't.